Just give us your thoughts, given these numbers were actually worse than expected.
Yes, clearly the number came in much below expectation. If you look at the operating profit, it's coming in at 4.3 trillion versus about 6.7 trillion. That's quite a bit of a miss. But in terms of the sales number, it's a slight miss, coming in at about 70 trillion. Expectation was somewhere around 74 trillion or so. I think that it's already expected, given the fact that the fourth quarter numbers are quite weak on the basis of slowdown in the handset demand, as well as last year overall. The demand for the PC was quite weak. So that is a major issue. However, though, I guess we have to look into the future, where the production cut is expected in the various areas, including the NAND side as well as the DRAM side. Samsung is talking about 15% lower in terms of the production side. And if that's the case, demand and production differences would probably level out, and expectedly in the second half of this year, we will see the earnings improvement as well as the sales improvement. So I guess it all depends on what level the price will be bottoming out, and then will recover before the second half of this year.
Daniel, just to point out, of course, these are just the preliminary numbers. We get the net profit and the divisional breakdown later on in the month as well. So on account of these numbers, should we expect an even more dovish shift when it comes to CapEx strategy?
Yes, as I said, the announcement is coming in at much less of the CapEx expectation, about 15% lower than previously anticipated. And that should allow the cycle to be bottoming out probably earlier than expected. If we look at the bottoming out of the inventory levels, we were thinking that turnaround should be expected to be happening in the second quarter sometime. If we look into the level of the production reductions or the CapEx reductions, we think that that number come a bit earlier than that. If that's the case, we think the stock price is bottoming out might be happening sometime within this first quarter of this year.
How's your mobile business doing? We saw them announce some upgrades when it came to their budget phones at the CES in Las Vegas.
Right. If we look at the overall demand side of the picture, I think we got to look at what's happening in China as well as the server DRAM side, as well as handset side. If the China demand is expected to recover, and also there is a Intel AMD CPU, the application improvement would be happening. So therefore, there could be somewhat of an improvement in the growth area. And also, if we look into the second half of this year, we are expecting the server DRAM to pick up. Overall, I think that we've been worried about the concern about the handset as well as the PC demand. But going into the second half of this year, we are expecting two-digit growth in terms of the handset and also the server side demand to be picking up around 23% year-on-year numbers. So as you said, I think that the improvement could be coming in quite significantly in the second half of this year.
Daniel, we're also hearing rumblings again of a potential deal between Western Digital and Kioxia. When it comes to competition, how fierce is the market right now for Samsung?
Well, if you look at the memory side, the major three competitors, Samsung and SK Hynix, and also if you look into Micron, they take in about 97% of the market share. So in terms of competition, yes, it's there. But with this kind of takeover happening, we expect production level to drop rather than go up because of the consolidation is expected to improve the overall profitabilities. So yes, competition is there, but in terms of the level of competition, we don't think that it's going to accelerate, but rather decelerate over the period.